Stack the money, make it multiply. Yellow, white, gold, can't decide.
What's up, everybody? We are here, episode 1, Facts Over Feelings. I'm Bobby Champion.
I'm Chris Staples.
Yes, and we are going to be diving in, talking about the Western Conference Finals, Eastern Conference Finals, and of course, our predictions for who is actually going to make it to the championship and win. Okay, so what's up, Chris, man? I see everything been going on in the NBA. I see you've been deep involved, especially with the Lakers. So let's go ahead and start off with the Lakers, man. AD buzzer beater last night. Thoughts?
Whoo, come on, Bobby. You already know. I'm bringing facts, all right? It's not my feelings. I'm just bringing you facts.
Okay, bring them.
All right? That was tough, first off. AD is a monster, dog. Like, man, nobody can stop this guy. But I feel like he's such a nice guy. Even though when he dunked the ball and he yelling, I'm like, AD not really cut like that. But he could be. Like, he really needs that killer instinct where he know, like, really nobody can really guard me in this game. So, but, I mean, I'm not surprised Anthony Davis has made some buzzer beaters before. They just kind of get overlooked. So, like, when the pass went in, I was like, it's crazy because he the center. And he's shooting this three. And I'm like, that's ball game. That's game. I knew it was game when he shot it. I didn't know he was going to get the ball. I really didn't. I'm like, man, tie game. Was it tied or were they?
No, they was down. They was down 1.
Down 1. Okay, cool.
That put them up 2.
So I didn't think the three-pointer was going up. Like, I didn't think that would be the shot. I'm like, all right, somebody about to go in, be a quick foul or something like that. Because where LeBron was, I'm like, he's not catching no three-pointer from way out there. You know what I'm saying?
Like, but LeBron was just kind of waiting. But I saw the way he was supposed to go back door. It looked like.
That's what I thought. That's why I'm like, if we watch him from TV, I'm like, yeah, LeBron back door, he'll get it. Either he's gonna be a foul before the inbounds, or he catching it and making it a layup.
Right.
Just kind of how he did with the Pacers a long time ago.
Yeah.
He got the ball, went right in the lane, layup. Right.
Wizards. You go down the list.
I'm just saying he did that with the Pacers, like. In the playoffs, layup.
Right.
I was all right, this is where it's going. AD caught it. I wasn't surprised. I mean, put some respect on his name, bro. Y'all better stop it.
Man, I think people forget that AD, before he ran into a bunch of injury issues, right? When he was in a run-up for MVP all the time with the Pelicans, people really used to talk about him and say, this guy is going to be the best player in the NBA one day. In my opinion, when I compare him and Giannis, right? Mm-hmm. I think he is a better overall basketball player than Giannis. Like the things that he just does on the court, like step back threes, that three-pointer that he hit, it was just so fluid. All his jumpers just go in all net too. It's not like they rattle in. It's so pure, man. The kid is good. So I'm going to ask a question, and I want to know facts over feelings. Okay, is AD the best teammate of LeBron all time?
No, I can't say that. I gotta say Dwayne Wade. There's no way, believe me. Anthony Davis is arguably the best player in the league. But at the time when LeBron went to Miami, Dwayne Wade is overall the third best shooting guard of all time, hands down, not even an argument.
Right. Okay.
MVP took his team to the championship. Won a championship. So when LeBron came along, Dwayne Wade wasn't like leaving his prime. He was just like, look, we're trying to get more rings. He started thinking of that mindset. And so I can't put Anthony Davis over Dwayne Wade. Because at one point, Dwayne Wade was probably the best player in the league. It was like him and Kobe.
Right.
It was like, you decide. It was like the Kobe of the East.
Yeah.
So, but right now in the NBA, that's easily the best duo by a long shot.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to say I think that is more of a feeling too. I don't think it's a fact right now that Anthony Davis is the best player of LeBron of all time. I think the most talented, yes. Like you can't. He's never played with a player that's able to do a few more things better than him. Like Anthony Davis is a better rebounder than him. He's a better rim defender than him. LeBron gets blocked. Gets blocks, obviously. Don't get me wrong. But as far as the defensive presence under the basket, like he's never had an all-star right next to him that's that good. And the closest that you could come to it would be like a Chris Bosh. Normally, LeBron's the best rebounder, the best blocker, the best everything, and he actually has somebody on this team that's able to match those things and do some of the similar things and better than what he does. I think he's on the way to being that, but I will have to agree with you. I think that it's more of a feeling. I think the fact is D-Wade has the hardware. He's got 3 rings. He's got 2 with LeBron. He basically showed LeBron how to do it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have to go with D-Wade on that tip too. And I agree with you. I agree. Like, I think,
go with that. But right now in the NBA, it's not even close. It's not even like close.
Okay, so now we saw the buzzer beater last night. The Lakers won. One thing we have to talk about it, right? Giannis won back-to-back MVPs. Congratulations to Giannis. Facts over feelings. Do you think that he deserved the MVP of the regular season?
Facts. 100% facts.
It's fact.
Like,
It's
all about
disagree for sure. I'm gonna tell you that right now, but I'm gonna let you go.
This is people controlling the narrative, and LeBron said it. It's no knock to LeBron, but the narrative is like, oh, okay, LeBron's doing his thing in the playoffs, doing his thing. Like, he's obviously the MVP of the playoffs, 100%. But it's not about the playoffs. Why give someone an MVP of the regular season award during the Western Conference Finals? When does that make sense? Like, you showing me that's old. The regular season was a month or so ago.
More than
that, right? So why are we getting this award now? Like, no, give me that award. We know who should be MVP by game 80. We like, look, it's between them two. Maybe it come down to the last game or something like that every now and then. But give whoever that award belongs to the day before the playoffs start. Right. Because right now we getting blinded by look at LeBron right now. Like, even me and you were having conversations. I'm like, man, Luka should be an MVP category because of what he was doing with the Clippers at first. But I'm blinded by the playoffs. Even though his regular season was great, I'm blinded by the playoffs. Now, if we go and we look at what's happened throughout the regular season, Giannis, 2 years in a row, has the Milwaukee Bucks at the number 1 seed.
Okay.
LeBron won 4 MVPs in the East. Why? Because guess what? He was carrying the Cavaliers. At times, they were the top seed every year. And he got 4 rings over there. So he can't be upset that someone else is getting MVP in the other conference. Kobe probably could have had 3 MVPs.
He should have. He
only got 1. Why? Because he was playing with Shaquille O'Neal. And that's why I think some of those votes get taken away from LeBron, because you have a person that we just talked about, Anthony Davis, on your team. No one in the NBA has an Anthony Davis on their team. No one has and LeBron is probably the best player in the NBA. Yet Anthony Davis has more rebounds, points, blocks, better free throw percentage. So LeBron has a great counterpart versus, we can say Chris Middleton, but we talking about Chris Middleton, LeBron, and AD. Giannis, he got a nice player on his team, but he's carried that team. He should be MVP.
Now, this is definitely where I have to just disagree, because I'm going to start here. I'm going to go facts, all right? These are the facts. Did you know the last 5 MVPs before Giannis were all from what conference? The West, right? And when LeBron was in the East and he was doing this thing, he killing blah, 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 taking a lottery team, the Cavs, back to the playoffs, to the championship, all of those things. Oh, no, he's doing it in the East. He's doing it in the East. He's doing it in the East. Then he goes to the West. Okay, cool. I'm doing it in the East. I'm killing. I'm getting number 1 records. I'm, doing all of these crazy stats. And keep in mind, those players who were winning it in the West weren't always with the number 1 seed. Russell Westbrook, example. Harden, example. Okay, so the number 1 seed, that's one of the things. It's like, okay, people use that when they want to, because when Russell Westbrook got his, they were nowhere near. They weren't even a top 4 seed. I get it. It was a triple-double, and I think that he deserved it that year. But at the same time, it's just funny how after that, then we turn around and say, oh, okay, well, it's because of the record. Okay. Now let's move forward, okay? The last time that the Lakers were in the playoffs was when Kobe was playing. Come on, man. To me, I would have to say it would have to have been LeBron. When I look at what Giannis is over there doing with the Bucks, while it is amazing, even when I look at his Defensive Player of the Year, do you know that he was not top 10?
Bring the facts up about his stats, okay? Let's not get that twisted. We do say the record.
He was not top. Do you know
we
that?
Talk about the record. Yeah. You
okay, all right.
Right.
I'm gonna talk about the stats. Let me talk about.
Then bring up them stats. Let me hear them.
Do you know that Giannis was not even top 10 in steals in the NBA? He was not top 10 in blocks in the NBA. Do you know that? Like, how do you win a Defensive Player of the Year and you don't lead in either one of those categories? And that's when I say, I thought instead of LeBron saying the narrative, I thought that he was going to say just these new stats and these different efficiency ratings and all of those different things are playing into it, because the reason he literally won MVP is because they said he's quote unquote the most efficient player in NBA history. And I was like, okay. When you look at the points given out, considering that LeBron changed his whole game and ran point guard for the Lakers because they didn't have one, led the league in assists. It's just really confusing to me how a guy who rebounds really well and
I'm not knocking LeBron and saying in the case that he shouldn't be in the MVP category. But guess what? I feel like some of your votes are getting taken away because of who you have on your team. Yes, Giannis was not. You're right. He wasn't top 10 in blocks or whatever. Anthony Davis, he leads the team in all these categories. How can I say LeBron is the most valuable in the league, not just on his team? He might be the most valuable on his team. But to say he's the most valuable in the league when you have a person who's just as good a value on your team, that has to take away a little bit from the votes. That's where I go with LeBron as far as, it's going to be hard. It was hard for Kobe to win MVP because he had someone who's just as valuable on his squad. And yes, you can have your teammates who push you. Yeah, LeBron should be MVP. Of course, it's the teammates. They're going to push you. But last night, like you see LeBron needs Anthony Davis on his team.
Yeah, I mean, every player does. That's why Giannis is not in there no more.
That's why I can't give you that MVP.
But that doesn't, bro. When he had D Wade, he still won MVP. He won the MVP with the Heat. You know that, right? And he had D Wade, and you just said D Wade was better than AD.
D Wade, but guess what?
You got a good team on MVP.
They said D Wade was open with it. I'm deferring to LeBron. I'm telling LeBron he got to be leader of his team. Who is LeBron deferring to this year?
I wouldn't necessarily call it. I would say it's more so if he's playing a different role with him. He is allowing.
But just like D Wade said,
I'm going to play the role of the passer. And if we really need for me to go crazy, then I will. Like when he scored the first 15.
That's the same thing D Wade was doing with LeBron. Hey, you need me to go crazy, I will. But guess what? I'm doing this. I'm throwing these backdoor lobs. I'm doing all that stuff. That's what LeBron doing right now with Anthony Davis. I say Anthony Davis leading the league leading the team in all categories. Would you sell me? That's because LeBron deferring to him. LeBron could if he want to. Right, exactly. D-Wade could if he want to. But why? I want championships. I got LeBron James on my team. That's where the value comes in at. Giannis is carrying the East. He is the face of the East, face of the NBA right now. And guess what? He is, even maybe he don't have the most blocks in the league. That don't make you the most defensive player. You have to plan around Giannis.
But you have to plan around.
It's the same thing with LeBron. You have to plan around him on defense when you're effective on defense. So, I mean, if we talk about steals, I think James Harden led the league in steals this year. You know that?
Hey.
And he's not going to be in that category at all.
But that plays again into the point of what LeBron was saying, was that it is all about like the narrative. People have painted this narrative of, oh, Harden never plays defense. And like, even Carmelo Anthony is a perfect example of how some of these new stats have just straight up killed the basketball game and even hurt some players and be like, look at Carmelo. He's not playing good defense. Every time I turn around when he was playing in the playoffs this season, he was getting a block. It might be unorthodox. He's not traditionally doing it, but he's stopping fast breaks, getting steals. The same thing with Harden. I think it's the narrative of that, especially the media has painted. Oh, they don't play good defense. You find a couple of good plays,
right.
And then
you're right. It is a narrative. I do agree with you when you say that. But guess what? This wouldn't even really be much of a narrative if they gave the MVP before the playoffs started.
I would
Because
definitely.
now we're not really talking about that.
It makes me even more mad. It makes me even
Look,
more mad seeing that.
Yeah, I didn't like that when Derrick Rose got the MVP.
Mhm.
They were losing. When he got the MVP, they were getting beat by the Heat in the playoffs during that time. And I'm like, dang, that sucks, man, because like LeBron is going off right now against the Bulls.
Like
Derrick
literally
Rose is about to
showing
get
you, like, oh, you the MVP? Let me show you.
exactly. That's why he should have got it before it started. And now it's like, oh, that award's gone. Now y'all talk about something different because that's already given away. Don't give it to him. Look, LeBron he go off every year in the playoffs. And so that's what I'm saying. You get that early. We don't have that narrative about MVP. Why are we talking about MVP right now, regular season, in the Western Conference? It just never made sense to me.
Yeah.
And that's anytime. That's anytime.
Yeah. I think that they need to announce it earlier. I will not agree with you that Giannis should have won it. I do not agree with that. I think the prior year, we talked about it last year. I thought Harden should have won it. And this year I think that,
I mean, yeah, you look at it, like I said, we don't talk much about it, but it's always a narrative. And they need to just do it early. Save us these conversations because it looks super debatable when you see LeBron doing what he's doing or Anthony Davis doing what he's doing.
Exactly. Even Anthony Davis, right.
Even though Anthony Davis wasn't in the conversation, but it's all good. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. When he made the shot, I said, that's crazy. That's
I called you immediately. I was like, I'm about to call him. I already know you about to be like AD for MVP.
I'm sitting there like
AD for MVP. All right. So
Rondo said, I asked Frank Vogel, can I pass the ball in bounds? Frank Vogel said, hey, who did Rondo pass it to? He's like, nah, give it to AD.
Hey, Frank Vogel has never been so blessed in his life, man. He got of the talent.
That's Eric Spoelstra all day. Like,
when you have a Hall of Famer walking up to you like, hey, do you mind if I pass the ball in? Yeah, come on.
Go ahead.
Please do. You 10th all time in playoff assists, just past Michael Jordan. Yes, I think you could come in and make this pass.
We're good.
All right, cool. So since we spent a lot of time on Giannis, I have to talk about the Bucks loss being an upset, and I will have to compare it to the Clippers. So facts over feelings, who do you think was the bigger upset, the Bucks or the Clippers?
Ooh. Man, that's tough. I got to go with the Clippers because the Clippers were.
Give me the facts. I need the facts. It's the feelings or it's the facts?
Yeah, these are all facts. I got to go with the Clippers because they were expected to be in the championship or at least the Western Conference Finals, highly favored to win. Now, the Bucks were expected probably to go to the championship, which is, that's facts. When you think about the Bucks, you're like, Giannis go get MVP. They're number one in the East. They're doing their thing. But the Clippers were like expected to probably win the championship. We never really said the Bucks were going to win the championship.
Right.
So, I got to say that's an upset. To watch that series and to watch Denver come back and just everyone just choke pretty much at the end of the day was just surprising. I mean, they really got exposed. They got exposed. We had these you had these conversations all the time when we say, man, the Clippers got so many weapons here and there. And it just, throughout those last 3 games, you're like, where are the weapons at?
Right.
It was just, I'm watching the game and I'm like, there's no one to pass the ball to. And I'm like, for all the weapons that they have, they just kept giving the ball to Kawhi, like, we don't want the ball anymore. And it was good to see Denver play the way they played, but it was really a bad job by the Clippers. And I just say they got outcoached at the end of the day.
Yeah. I would have to I agree. I want to disagree very badly. I really
want to go against Giannis.
I do want to go against Giannis, but I have to admit, like, that is true. Like, I did not expect the Bucks to win it. I thought that it would be a lot easier to stop them than a team like the Clippers. And I definitely did not expect the Clippers to lose to the Nuggets until the series was about to. When I found out, I didn't expect for them to lose this early. I won't say I did not expect for them to lose against the Nuggets because I did not think that they matched up well with the Nuggets because they didn't have anybody to check Jokic. Like, Montrezl Harrell is great. I like Montrezl a lot. I see him play a lot here out in LA during the summer. I think he's very talented, very athletic, but when you talk about Joker, a 7-foot shooting big man, right, that can pass and do all the things that he can do, like they don't really have. You need another star to match him. It can't just be a role player matching him, and nobody could check Jamal Murray. Like he was just out there frying Kawhi and Paul George. That defense was not looking that good. So I would have to agree. Like the Bucks being upset, like I would want them to be there, and I think the fact that Giannis won MVP like makes it a bigger deal and makes it look a little bit worse. But everybody wanted to see Clippers versus Lakers. That's what everybody wanted to see. Not only expected, that's what
they were highly favored to be there. So, and I agree with you. The fact is, I really didn't think that the Clippers matched up well with the Nuggets.
Yeah.
But being up 3-1, I'm like, it really doesn't matter at this point. You can get another game, and so that was the choke job right there. Yeah. The Bucks were never up in the series. They barely won any games. So
they were down literally.
It was again coaching. It was again coaching.
So where do you think that on Doc Rivers' side, where do you think was the coaching mishap on that?
I just feel like they had bad team chemistry the entire time. And then the Nuggets made so many different adjustments, throughout the game. Well, the Clippers didn't make the adjustments. As you see the Lakers, they're up 2-0. They're making adjustments every game. So you really can't pinpoint who to attack. You go first game, who thought Dwight Howard and Rondo would have been huge factors in game one? Okay, cool. They were game one factors. Then game two, LeBron goes out there and scores 20 in the first 15 minutes of the game. You're like, okay, LeBron's hot now. Now who do we go to? Then AD just let me know when to start because I can get going and whatever. I don't even know what game 3 gonna look like. And I just feel, and then the thing is with the Lakers, they're, like I said, it's a perfect chess. They're like the perfect chess players because Dwight Howard and JaVale were like non-factors. Dwight Howard's a big factor in this series because he's doing everything he can to get in Jokic's head.
Yes, and he's doing it too.
He wasn't even playing last series. So it's just all the pieces are coming together at the right time. Rondo is just showing out right now, and you're like, man, he just came back pretty much throughout the playoffs. So that's why I think the Clippers didn't make the adjustments with the Nuggets, and the Nuggets just pretty much exposed that at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I have to give a shout out to Dwight. I know we even talked about him a couple of times because Dwight has stepped it up like to a whole nother level. Because one of my biggest things that was my gripe about him was that I felt like he never played serious enough. He would be losing and laughing, getting fouled out the game, laughing. I'm not seeing that from him. Like he's locked in. Like, whatever you need to come do, I'm doing it. I'm serious. I might get fouled out, I don't care. I'm doing my job.
I'm not letting this guy take over like that, even though Jokic had a good game last night.
And I love it. I feel like that was one of the reasons he didn't get along with Kobe. Like Kobe's like, bro, you just playing around.
Yeah, Kobe like, you got one shot and you out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're joking around too much. You gotta understand. I'm trying to win. If you ain't about that life, because
Kobe was quick with
people forget that was a cold team. Dwight in his prime, Kobe, Powell. I was like,
yeah, this is tough. But Kobe had to get him out of there, bro, because he wasn't ready. But now he's like, all right, I'm in this year, and this is the last opportunity I'm really gonna have to win a championship.
It really is.
So,
the way the NBA is going, they are
really gotta go hard. So, I mean, man, if you look at the Lakers right now, you're like, how many champions do they have on their team? They got JaVale McGee, LeBron James, Rajon Rondo. Who else on there? Danny Green.
Quinn Cook too.
Quinn Cook, these dudes got five guys on their team that has rings, multiple rings. So they got the leadership and the experience when it comes down to it. Now you just got to bring somebody who's hungry like Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis. These two guys ain't got no rings. And you're like, they're hungry. Yeah. They want it. So,
you know. They get it right because, LeBron will ship you out the next year.
Oh, yeah, you'll be out of there. It'll be a new hungry person in there next year.
All right, cool. So, moving forward. So, we talked a little bit about the Lakers and the Nuggets. And, of course, Murray and Jokic are standout players. Jokic finished up. I think he scored 11 points straight to end the game last night. What are some things that you think that the Lakers need to do to slow down Murray and Jokic. I wouldn't even say so much Murray because I feel like they did a good job on him. But
Right.
Jokic does seem to be giving them a little bit of issues, especially towards the end of the game.
You can't slow him down. He's already slow. He's a good basketball player, bro. And that's tough. Why spend so much energy? Yes, he's going to get hot at some point in the game. You don't know when, but it does come down. Most times it does come to the end of the game. But I feel like if you contain the others,
Right.
because he's already going to give you issues. You got somebody like Dwight Howard who's on him, JaVale gets on him, Anthony. Everyone checks him. All the big guys check him.
Right.
And he plays with his back to the basket. So it's only so much you really can do. It's really about guarding the other guys. So I wouldn't really say that as much the Lakers can do. It's just making sure the other guys don't get as much involved. Jokic does have the ball in his hand a lot. You have to just contain on defense. So I don't really have an answer for him. I was watching the game like.
Yeah, some of the shots that he makes. So facts over feelings. Jokic is unstoppable.
Yeah, that's a fact. He is unstoppable. At one point, he reminded me of Dirk Nowitzki.
Some of the shots that he takes, for sure.
Yeah.
I still think I think Jokic can stand to get in just a little bit better shape. I think that's one thing that's hindering him a little bit right now.
I feel like he gets in foul trouble too much, and that's a big issue.
Yeah, he does.
He stays in foul trouble, but he has those unblockable shots that go in, them rainbow shots, and you're like, man, what do you say to that? Like, remember when Dirk Nowitzki was doing that, and he was like,
yeah, no, they legit won because he was just making unbelievable. Like the year that the Mavericks won, nobody was beating them. Nobody. Because they were just on fire.
They went through the Lakers. The Mavericks went through the Lakers. They went through OKC when KD was just going crazy.
Yep. They're like, who on it? Who?
Yeah, really. It's like no one can do anything. So
we got Dirk. We got everybody.
Yeah. So I think the Lakers definitely got the number right now, man. Because I think that was the game that Denver was supposed to win. Denver needed to win that game last night.
Denver did. I feel like that was a pretty big game. So on here, I actually have the facts over feelings. The Lakers will easily beat the Nuggets in 5. I think factually, yeah. I would have to go at probably. I was already thinking sweet. I was saying 5 to be nice.
Man, it's tough. Man, Game 3 says a lot right now. No, I mean 5. I would like to see 6. I'm not gonna say easily. I'm gonna say that Nuggets gonna come out there desperate. Obviously, Game 3, get that first game going. Man, I don't know. I think Nuggets got to win next game for real. And they played really well. They just can't get down as early as they did and have to play catch up all the time because they're always like that, you know.
Yeah, I think that it's a fact. I think that they will easily beat them.
I can't say facts. I can't say facts on games that I haven't seen yet. So there's no facts.
Guarantee.
You giving me feelings. You giving me feelings. You're not giving me facts.
I mean, all right, here are the facts. You know, they're up 2-0. You know, when LeBron goes up 2-0, like his percentages on losing after that, just period, any team in the NBA is very low. You know, the chances of coming back after that are pretty slim to none. Although the Nuggets have.
But we also talk about the Nuggets who have been like.
But they haven't gone against LeBron yet. They went against Kawhi.
I said that last year. They haven't gone against Kawhi. So I don't know.
LeBron yet. Kawhi, not LeBron.
But look, even as well as the Nuggets play as well as the Lakers play yesterday, they only won by 2 points. As great as they played great yesterday.
They did play great.
So
I don't see how they.
If LeBron if he don't have a 25 point first half, then maybe you got a chance, you know, because that was a great half. Anthony Davis played so good. Everyone played good.
That rookie off the bench though.
Yeah, man. He's
Dozier. Ooh, for the Nuggets. I know you saw him. He was looking nice. Yeah, it hurts though, because as much as he was contributing those free throws, oh man.
Yeah, that's the rookie right there. That was a big difference of the game.
Yeah, but nobody's can get back to the locker room and blame him. Like he looked like the only person who wanted to be out there at one point.
Yeah,
for the Nuggets. So I'm not gonna knock him. So now let's get out of the West. We've been talking about the West a lot, and let's move forward to this Heat Celtics series. Heat Celtics right now it is 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who do you have coming out that series? I need some facts. Facts over feelings.
I'm going with Boston.
You're going with
I'm
Boston.
going with Boston.
And what's the facts behind that?
Facts behind it. I feel like Boston has more talent on their team. I feel like they got the weapons on with the Heat, but Boston overall, like they got guys that are ready for the championship. I love watching Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's so talented, man.
He is. I like.
He's so talented, bro. He can do whatever, bro. He can literally play for at least 4 positions. He can guard 4 positions. For real. He rebound, dunk, 3-pointers. Like he played so great that series. The last game. But I just feel like the Celtics have been here before. They've been this far with most of the guys on their team. And adding Kemba Walker. I feel like next game Jimmy Butler's going to, be more assertive. Mm-hmm. But both games were good. Both games, both of the last 2 games were super good. Like it really came down to like the last minute. I just feel like Boston will, redeem themselves today and then, take the series eventually. I think it'll be probably a 7-game series.
Yeah.
But I think they'll even it up today.
Yeah, I think these are the facts, right? I'm going to go with the Heat. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of easier pick is already up 2-1. But the reason I'm going to go with the Heat is the fact is Jimmy Butler last year was 1 shot away from going to the finals. People forget about that. People forget, and now he left. He's got some remnants of LeBron and Kawhi because he left the team and now he's still back. Like, I'm back. Y'all bounced. I'm back here. Like, I'm carrying teams. I'm showing you. I know how to do this. And the fact that he's there, I feel like last year was the heartbreaker. I think this year is his year. I think the Heat just have, when we already talked about championship experience, they have Iguodala. They have
they do.
Well, really, all I can name is Iguodala, but that's one more person than the Celtics have.
I love the hero and Tyler and Duncan. Hero, Duncan Robinson. Like I love that duo, man. And Dragic, they're good, man. Like I like them. Bam, they got a solid squad.
And Bam. And when we talk about matchups, because playoffs is all about matchups, I think that's where the Celtics will be hurt because they really have nobody to check Bam. Like Tyus can't check Bam.
But see, the thing is, they made a big coaching decision they brought Enes Kanter in early. He was playing a little bully ball because when they switch up, if Bam's not checking Kanter is making an easy layup. This dude's 7 feet. Like he's a big dude too. Yeah, he's making layups. He don't dunk the ball. He makes layups. He do that. He get to do the dirty work. And then as long as Tice doesn't stay in foul trouble, it's good to have those 2 in the game to alternate in the game because no one can guard Bam.
That's why I got to roll with the Heat, man, because the Celtics are relying on Kanter to save the day. That's not good.
No, it's not that. It's just actually doing some of the dirty work. That was a coaching change, and guess what?
Well, it's a good adjustment. But if you banking on that, man, to pull you out of that
they came out with an easy victory, man. And then Jimmy Butler leaving the game early. I was kind of like, "What you doing, bro? Like, come on, go down with the sinking ship right now." He sat down the last minute of the game. They were down by like 6. He said,
"I don't know what is up. I don't know why." People and coaches and players, like, why they give up so early? Like, I feel like when we were younger, that was something that
it wasn't like I have to be like down 8 with 10 seconds for me to
probably more than that. In my mind, like the way I feel like the way athletes' mind work is just crazy. Like
we forget Reggie Miller, Tracy McGrady. Like we forget those. Like that stuff actually really happens.
People press, they do. I've seen all type of crazy steals happen. People get 4 or 6 points in a row. So it's just pretty crazy. But he did sit down. I get it. It's the playoffs. So he's probably thinking, it's a 7-game series. It's a chess match. Let me reserve my energy, watch the tape, and come back with a different.
Yeah, see, that's the difference with LeBron. LeBron, like, no, I'm going to play until it's over.
Yeah, and I mean.
Like, you got to step on their neck. I don't think you give the Celtics life right now. It's not a good idea. They're healthy. And Gordon Hayward, he came back. Don't just say Kenner. Gordon Hayward came back and was a big factor.
No, that's true. That now Gordon, and I did not expect that.
And he's not on the scouting report.
He's not. And people forget that he was literally leading the Jazz to the playoffs when he was there. And the Celtics signed him with the intention of, you're a star. The injury obviously stopped that. And it helped too, because Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were able to ascend, because with him being there, he was hindering their development, because they all play the same position. They all like the same height. They all play similar, very similar as far as just they're very skilled players. Obviously, Jaylen Brown being the most athletic, but all of them are really skilled. Great mid-range, like a decent three-point shooter, definitely not players that you would leave open, and excellent slashers. They all forwards. So they all play the same position. So long-term, I think this year will be good. I think long-term they're going to have to figure out a way to – I don't see them getting rid of Jalen or Jason, but I think Hayward will probably have to go.
I said the same thing, that Hayward probably have to go, but I feel like wasn't he coach? Wasn't his coach in college?
Yeah. It's the pros though, bro. You gotta, it's a business.
No, I feel like they got like a relationship, like in a way, like that's my guy. I'm not letting him go.
Well, he did.
and if he if he's a factor and gets them to the championship and plays well, he's not going anywhere.
Right, so I told you stuff.
Because I like that. I like the fact that Jaylen Brown can push it up court, Hayward can push it up court, Jason Tatum push it up court. You got Kemba, so it's like, all right, we got Kemba, but we got 3 other guys who are 6'7", 6'8", that can clear the board. Like you can put Jaylen Brown at the 4.
Yeah,
he can really be at the 4.
A lot of times that's what he wants. Yeah, a lot of times that's him and Jason Tatum alternate at that spot. I mean, and then Hayward too, and that's why I'm saying they all play the same position. So you're right. If they win, then maybe he might not be gone. But even if they win, like you probably need to get that contract off the books, and he's injury.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be rolling with Hayward for too much longer.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's just a fact. I feel like they can do a lot more. I love Marcus Smart energy, man. He's great too. I mean, that was a good game, man. I'm curious. I'm excited to see what today's gonna look like. If the Celtics win today, facts. I'm giving you facts. The Celtics will win the series.
Okay. All right, cool. So you had the Celtics winning the series, and I think we both had I had the Lakers coming out of the other series. I
don't really want to admit to that, but yeah, it looked like the Lakers is just.
All right, so those are predictions. So that's what we're gonna leave them with. Facts over feelings. We are out. Make sure you like and subscribe. Drop some stuff in the comments. Tell us what you want to hear more about. What you got, Chris?
Man, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you comment below. Subscribe. Literally subscribe to this channel. Tell us what we're saying wrong. If you agree with Bobby on some of his statements, say it. Comment Bobby, comment Chris if you agree with either one of us. So whoever you agree with, comment below on that. Thank you guys for watching. More coming soon. Bring you facts, not feelings. Keep your feelings at home. We just telling you what it is. I'm Chris Staples.
Three facts. I'm the champion.
Thanks for watching.
Stack the money, make it multiply. Yellow, white, gold, can't decide. Came to conquer, we don't divide. I'm a king, do it for the pride. Up in the